Certainly congratulations to Coach Todd. Some of you may not know, but I'm a former football guy myself, a player and a coach, and I can tell you that program development is the key. And it starts with the youth, and it starts building away, especially in a community like this, all the way up through. And I just want to encourage the players in this room and Coach Todd. I'm now in the private sector. We use a phrase there that good is the enemy of great. And the reason for that is you could be good, but when you get satisfied, when you get complacent, you can never be great. And I would just encourage you as players and as coaches, I used to use a phrase that many can be good, many can be great, but only one can be called the best, and strive to be the best in everything that you do. It is my pleasure to introduce Christian Kirksey. Northeast Ohio is certainly football country in a lot of different ways, and over the last several years, Ohio State's probably captured most of that attention and most of that favoritism, but certainly without question, the Cleveland Browns are back in the spotlight, bringing pride and excitement, I think, each time they play. Without question, there's been a lot of change in that organization, and believe it or not, I looked this up, our guest speaker was drafted in 2014 out of Iowa, and he's been with the Browns organization longer than any other player on the roster. So you talk about change in that regard. Unfortunately, he's currently on the injured reserve list, recovering from a hamstring pull. I did find two little-known facts that, or maybe impressive facts about Christian. First, in addition to football, he participated in track and field in high school, competing in relays. And when you see the size of him and the triple jump, won state championships in football and in track, and that's quite an accomplishment. Secondly, he's not only a professional athlete, he's an accomplished musician. He's active in several community events that support the less fortunate and disadvantaged, and we're so blessed to have him here tonight. I do believe we have a video introduction.
Playing a game of football, it can get frustrating, especially, if things not going well for you, or you just go through your ups and downs, whether it's, personal or team-wise, you're going to have your ups and downs, whatever. So you got to have like an escape. You got to have something that, get your mind off of, your everyday thing that you do, which is football for me. In the stretch lines, people are always making fun of me or, trying to juice me up because, we play music doing stretching. And half the time, I'm running around, dancing, trying to get everybody, excited, everybody happy and ready to practice. So I'm excited, man. It's a new energy in the building. Everybody is just building that chemistry right now. The players that just got on board, they're bought all in. I like the energy that they bring into the team. A lot of talent.
Chris Kirksey is, like I said, man, he's a talented guy, man. Remind me of myself. So, hey, you said it. That's why you said dance me, man. That's a good thing, man. Chris Kirksey, talented, man.
Yeah, we're very pleased with where Chris is. Not to take anything away from Craig, but I think they've both played well enough to merit being starters in our different groupings, and I think that's always ends up being a plus for you on special teams as well, because then they're.
I think this year is going to be special. I think this year is going to shock a lot of people. I know the talent that's on this team. I know what we're building. I know the chemistry, and I don't think we're going to let the fans down this year. I think there's going to be something special, so I'm ready for it.
I'm not that good at the drums. I just want to let y'all know that. But thank you for having me out here tonight. It's definitely an honor to speak in front of you guys. Just first and foremost, I just want to tell y'all about myself. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm the baby of 7 siblings. I end up getting my degree in sports business, Been here since 2014, as he stated, and I love Cleveland. Cleveland is an epitome of hard work, and that's something that I really strive in. That's something that I've took with me my whole life. And I know a lot of times I go speak at events like this. A lot of people want to hear about awards and football and how did I get here. But I always like to switch it to life and to life lessons. And you guys in the back, high school team, I just want to let y'all know that you can't go anywhere without your education. That's first and foremost. And I always say, football can be took away from you, but can't nobody take your mind away from you. As you can see, I'm on injury reserve, and one play I'm out there running around making a tackle, the next play I'm out. So I always tell people, always have education, always have a second plan. That's going to get you further than football will ever get you. So that's first and foremost. But just football now. If you put your mind to anything and everything, then you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. And that's going to say, when I was little, I wanted to be a boxer at first. I told my dad, I was like, you know what? I want to box. I kind of want to follow in your footsteps. I want to follow my uncle's footsteps. And he said, nah, that's not for you. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to come up with another sport. And I came up with football. And ever since I picked up the football, I've hit the ground running. And I never let nobody dictate my life but myself and God. He gave me this ability to play the game that I love. He gave me this ability to take care of my family and to be an impactful person to people. So I say this because going to college, I was 185, and that's pretty small playing linebacker. And, I went to the University of Iowa, where linebackers is known to be 230, 240, and here I go, a 185-pound linebacker. And on my journey to college, my father passed when I was 17 years old, and that was going into my freshman year of college. And that was probably the hardest thing that I ever went through in my life. And, I didn't know if I wanted to play football anymore. And, I'm already, getting my scholarship, and people saying, he's not gonna make it to the league. He's 185. There's no way that he can play linebacker in the Big Ten, going against teams like Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State, those guys like that. But I remember when I was a little boy, my mom and my dad sat me down, and they told me about the story of David and Goliath. And now I got David and Goliath tatted on my arm. I can't really see it right now, but I got David and Goliath tatted on my arm, and that signify the struggle. That signify obstacles. That signify people telling you that you can't do things. That's people, trying to dictate your life. But we all go through our own Goliaths in life. And I'm here today, I'm David. And a little bit about the story of David and Goliath is, here go this little boy. He had a slingshot. He had a rock. And with that slingshot and that rock, he defeated a giant. Now, everybody thought that this boy was crazy, thinking that he could defeat a giant with a slingshot and a rock. But he had God on his side, and he did it. And so a lot of people told me, like, okay, man, go ahead, go to Iowa. You're just going to be a guy that got a scholarship and didn't do anything. But I was the dictator of my life. I worked hard. I didn't care about what people told me. I didn't care about what people said about me. I didn't care about fitting in. I didn't care about being cool. I said, as long as I was myself and worked harder than anybody in the room, then I could obtain all of my goals. And that's what I want to preach to you guys here right now, is that if you got a goal in mind, if you got a dream in mind, stick to it. Because can't nobody tell you what you want to do in life but yourself. You got to outwork the man next to you. You got to out-hustle the man next to you. If you see a guy at 6 o'clock in the morning walking into the facility, you be there at 5:59. If you see a guy doing an extra sprint, you do 2 extra sprints. If you see a guy eating right, you eat even better. And I always tell my brothers, I tell my teammates, I'm going to compete with you at everything that I do. Because when I walk away from the game, the only thing that I can say is, did I try my best? Did I give it my all? Did I go work them hours that ain't nobody watching me but myself? Did I really put in the time and the effort? Did I really put in that hard work? When closed doors, no cameras, did I really put in that time? And if you did, you can walk away from the game and be satisfied. Now, I'm sitting there, I'm hurt right now. I'm on injury reserve. It sucks. I'm going to tell y'all that it sucks. We winning, all that, that's good, but the injury sucks. But my head is in the right place. My spirit is in the right place because I've gave everything I had on that field. I gave everything I had in the classroom. I gave everything I had in the weight room. So when I see my brothers out there winning, I'm still a part of the team. I'm winning right there with them because I gave everything. Blood, sweat, and tears is all on the field. So as long as you do that, you'll be successful. As long as you train your mind to fix your mind, you'll be successful. You take school seriously because school is just like the classroom, in the weight room, just like the classroom, the film room. And I keep saying classroom as an example. Every time you step on the field, that's a classroom because you're learning. Every time you step in the film room, that's a classroom because you're learning. Every time you step on the weight room, that's a classroom because you're learning. You're getting stronger, you're getting bigger, you're getting faster, you're getting smarter. And I just came here today to encourage you guys to understand that, everybody's not going to be a professional athlete. Everybody's not going to be, a guy that's going to have all the awards and, win Super Bowls, win championships, things like that. But it's not going to happen. But you can be the best at everything that you do in your mind. So you can be the best doctor, you can be the best lawyer, you can be the best teacher, you can be the best whatever you want to do. And never let anybody steer you in the wrong direction. You surround yourself with people that care about you. You surround yourself that people will try to outwork you to make you work even harder. Because that's what I did, and I'm a living testimony of that. And now when I talk about, training your mind, and when I talk about, seeing something, visualizing something, your mind is the most powerful thing in your body, on your body, your mind. You are the dictator of your life. If you tell your mind to do something, the body will follow. So you got to always train your mind, train your mind. You're going to face adversity, and when adversity strikes, you got to sometimes take a step back, look at where your life is, and say, okay, this tragedy happened, this obstacle happened, adversity happened, that's good. You know why? Because it's another process and it's another opportunity for me to get better. It's another opportunity for me to share my story. Now, I've never been hurt in my career. I played more snaps than anybody in the league last year. I played more snaps than anybody in the league the year before last year. I haven't missed a game since my freshman year in high school. And that is unheard of. But with this injury, a lot of people say, man, Kirksey, man, where your mind at? How you feeling? And I tell them, I feel good. Like, how can you feel that way? Your teammates out there, they're winning. Your teammates out there, they're moving along without you. I'm like, I'm good. You know why? Because my mindset. I'm training my mind to understand that any obstacle that I go through, I can defeat. I'm that David. My injury is my Goliath. Going 0-16 last year is my Goliath. Going 1-15 the year before last year is my Goliath. Going 3-13 the year before 1-15 is my Goliath. Going 7-9 my rookie year is my Goliath. And I kept pushing. There's no reason why, I'm the longest tenured Brown on the team, and I'm only been here for 5 years. But I've been training myself, training my mind. I can get through anything that come my way. And I just want to preach to y'all, like, y'all didn't win the championship game, but that's good. You know why? Because next year y'all gonna come back stronger. Next year y'all gonna come back harder. Next year y'all gonna understand this is what we got to do to win. And right now, we sitting at 4-6-1. Everybody like, okay, they sending me text messages, man, y'all gonna be good next year. Y'all gonna be good next year. They don't understand that we lost one game in the division. We lost one game in the division. So our obstacles is right in front of us, but we're getting through it. We still can make the playoffs. We still have all our goals in front of us. But the crowd, the rest of the noise, they already trying to dictate our season. And we're like, come on, you don't dictate what we do. You don't dictate how we think. You don't dictate how we move. Because all our goals are still in front of us. So that's what I talk about, training our mind. Training our mind. Going 0-16 was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. Because people laughed at us. People made jokes about us. I'm going out with my friends, former friends that played in the league, former friends that still in the league. I got one of my best friends, Micah Hyde. He plays for Buffalo Bills. I got Golden Tate, Reggie Bush. We all in one setting. And they was like, oh, man, we see y'all in the playoffs. They looking at me like, come on, man. That's a joke. Seriously. But I use that and say, you know what? This is going to be my motivation. This is going to be what makes me great. This is what's going to be that makes my teammates great. This is going to be what gets us over the hill, gets us over the top. A lot of people are going to talk about you. A lot of people are going to say things about you, but you got to train your mind to understand that I'm the dictator of my life. I'm the dictator of my future. You can't control the past, but you can change the future. And you can change what you do. So I just want to sit here and share my story and just really encourage y'all to keep going, keep moving forward. And that's for everybody, not just the football team. That's for parents involved. Life is going to happen. Life is going to strike you. But train your mind, get through it, get through adversity, and you're going to go to the top. So once again, thank you for having me here and talking with you guys. And BB, keep fighting and stay strong. My brother, I'm here with you. I'm here for your daughter, and it's going to be all right. It's just an obstacle that you got to get through. It's an obstacle that she got to get through. But if she train her mind and you train your mind, you be the best example for everybody in this room and your family, she's going to be all right. So once again, appreciate you for letting me come up here and talk. All right. Questions? Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. So now I'm gonna open the floor up for anybody who have any questions for me. You can ask me about anything, whether it's playing the drums, whether it's football, life. Just don't ask me about school.
What's your favorite thing about being an NFL player?
Oh man, my favorite thing about being an NFL, it'll probably be the relationships that I build, and you know, football is it's a small window of your life. I mean, I've been playing since I was 7 years old. Went to school, got my education. You know, average football player retires at 26 years old. And I'm 26 right now. But I want to play to, you know, obviously I'm about 31 years old, and at 31 you're still a kid. You know, you're still young. I usually, you know, most people retire at like 60, 61, 65. But I would be retiring at 32 years old, and all I can look back and say, what can I do with my experience in the NFL? And that's build my relationships with people that's going to carry me out through my lifetime. And I think that's the most important and the most fun thing about being in the league is that who I meet. And I met some great people, people that I can call today, you know, hey, can I get this favor? Or people I can call today, hey, man, you remember that football game when we got blew out and how we was feeling? And you just laugh about things like that. So I'd probably say that's the funnest thing and the most memorable thing is just your relationships that you build.
Who's your favorite teammate?
Of all time or now? My favorite teammate now has to be Jamie Collins. Me and Jamie, you know, we spend a lot of time because he's my fellow linebacker, and we're alike in many ways. We always competing, whether it's shooting pool, whether it's, you know, who can show up on time in the meetings or on the football field. You know, we just have a lot of fun. And you know, he's been to my house in St. Louis, and I've been his place in Mississippi. So that's one of my closest guys on the team, and you know, my funnest teammate.
How often do you practice?
Oof. That's a man. So as a kid, I sacrificed a lot of summers. You know, playing football, doing the weight training, especially in high school. You know, you was a kid, but you was kind of like a super kid. Like, you didn't get to, you know, have summer vacations and things like that because you're too busy, you know, going on 7-on-7 tournaments and, you know, different workouts. But, you know, that's the sacrifices that you have, you know, playing football. So.
Were you the hardest worker on your team?
Ooh. I was trying to be, but it's some guys on my team, you know, they work pretty hard. But that's the thing. I always say that, you know, I always want to outwork the person next to me, but I never want to be the hardest working person on the team because then sometimes you get satisfied. So I always want to chase. If I see somebody doing something, I'm like, okay, he doing that. I want to do it too. So it's always time to get better. And my dad, he always say, good, better, best. Never let it settle until your good is better and your better is best. So as long as I'm, keep working hard and chasing after somebody, that's going to continue to make my game evolve and continue to make my game better. So I would like to be the hardest working player on the team, but, we got a lot of guys that, work pretty hard.
Hi.
What's up?
What's your favorite play that you've done
Um,
in your career?
In my career, I would probably say, does college count? That counts. I would probably say my senior year against Minnesota, I had a pick six, and it was kind of funny how it happened because I was talking so much trash to the guy before, and the very next play, like I just through my film study, I saw like what route he was running in my head before he ran it. So I was just sitting there watching, and he ran straight to me. I caught it, and I hit a spin move and kind of like pointed at him like when I did it. And that was my first pick six. So that was pretty fun. That was probably my most memorable moment.
Who's the hardest running back to tackle?
The hardest running back that I faced would probably be Le'Veon Bell. And I say that because, okay, I got a story about Le'Veon. So in college, he went to Michigan State, I went to Iowa, and he juked me harder than anybody ever juked me in my life. Like Little League, college, and the pros. And I remember he was running the ball to my side, but he didn't see me. And the hole opened up like this wide. So if you playing linebacker, you don't just run to the ball. You have to force yourself and tell yourself that I'm a running back too. So you think like a running back. So like, for me, I see a hole open, I'm like, okay, I know he's about to hit this hole because I'm thinking like a running back. So I go shoot this hole, and he comes, and I'm like, oh, I'm about to blow him up. He don't see me. And he juked me so bad that I was looking at my teammate after he juked me. And my teammate was like, bro, the ball is going out. So I say Le'Veon Bell.
What are your thoughts on being in Hard Knocks this year?
It's a lot of things on Hard Knocks that wasn't shown. But, Hard Knocks, it was fun. I think the guys got a kick out of it. Practices was extra juiced up just because we know the cameras is out there. You don't want to get embarrassed on TV. But it was fun. You got a lot of stories, that you didn't know about your teammates. Just seeing, the in-depth stories that Hard Knocks was showing. It was kind of weird at first because you can't have personal conversations with people because there's a camera always watching or it's a microphone always watching. So just imagine you being super tired and you're talking to your teammate and you're like, bro, I am so tired, and it's a camera and it's a microphone just creeping over your head, and you're like, did I say I was tired? I mean, we can work a little bit harder. So it was definitely fun, having Hard Knocks there.
Who's your favorite NFL player besides yourself?
My favorite NFL player? That's a tough question. I'm always gonna go with former teammates, and I have to shout out one of my big bros, Joe Hayden. The reason why I say Joe Hayden because he took me under his wing when I first got to Cleveland. You always need like a big brother when you're coming into the league, and him along with a lot of other players like Carlos Dansby, Craig Robinson, Zach Dowes, all those guys. But I think I spent the most time with Joe Hayden, and he kind of showed me the ropes. So that'd probably be my favorite NFL player.
Okay, this will be our last one.
Okay.
And then we're going to do a couple of your auction items.
Okay.
Who was your role model growing up?
I have a lot of role models. Football-wise, I have to be my head coach in high school, Mike Jones. And me and him, we went on a lot of roller coasters. I thought that I was going to be a running back coming into, college, high school, NFL, and he looked at me and said, no, you're going to play linebacker. I'm like, Coach, look at me. You see this? Like, I'm a running back. He's like, no, you're going to be a linebacker. And I remember my junior year, I wasn't even the best player on my team. And he used to always have me go and stand at linebacker and do like 20 ISOs with the fullback. But he always switched the fullbacks. And I'd be hitting him, my shoulder's tired, I'm getting headaches and all this stuff, man. I'm like, Coach, why are you doing this? He's like, man, I'm just sharpening you up because I believe in you. I believe that, you can make it to the next level. And I took everything that he said to heart because he played in the league 14 years with the St. Louis Rams, and he made the game-winning tackle in the Super Bowl when they played against the Titans. And I remember watching that play as a kid, and I was like, man, I would love to meet that guy. And he ended up being my head coach. So, he was definitely a role model for me. And then off the field, it had to be my dad. A guy rests his soul, but, he taught me everything I know. He taught me how to be a man. He taught me, whenever I get married, he taught me how to, love the family, love his wife, love a wife. And, I tip my hat off to him, and, I dedicate my life to him because he's made me to the man I am today. So that'll definitely be my role model.